Hi, my name is Will Strouse. I'm a Principal Analytics Consultant and Sigma Tech Lead here at phData. And we're going to show you a quick demo on a stand-up sprint board data application that one of our lead analytics consultants, Mani, built using Sigma. We use the Agile method here for project management. I'm sure a lot of you do as well. And we have awesome PMs, and there's so many cool tools out there created, but not all of our clients have certain kinds of tools or certain access to them, or sometimes you just need to stand up something quick that you know can work and archives the data in your warehouse. So, Mani, why don't you go ahead and show us what you built?
Sure, thanks. Hello, everyone. My name is Manikanta. I'm working as lead analytics consultant at phData. Today, I'm here to share you something really exciting, that is a sprint board data app which we can see. So let's jump into the workflow to see the demo. So let me first walk you through what I did using the sprint board data app. So first of all, I have added a create story button, which will help us to create a new user story per issue. So when I click on this button, so basically you can see a couple of fields over here. So select the required fields like the sprint number, due date, story name, story points, assigning for this task, and portal, status, priority. And finally, you can fill in some description details and click on create button. So once you click on this create button, basically a new user story is added to the sprint board. So you can see that the user story which we have created has been added as a report in this table. You can also notice like there are a couple of other visualizations in the sprint board data app which provides us insights into many things like percentage of total user stories by priority. It shows us like the distribution of the user stories by priority levels. And we can also see the distribution of user stories by status, by assignment and status as well. Now, if I want to update this user story, I can do that using this edit story button, which I have created. When I click on this button, it will take me to the sprint input table page. Here, you can notice that there are a couple of filters through which we can filter the data. For example, if I want to see the user stories which are assigned to me and that are of priority P1, I can do that by using these filters. So I can click on this control element, assigning control element, and select my name and the priority level as P1. Now I can update the progress of this user stories. I can move this to done and I can change this to ready for review as needed and click on save. Once that is done, the sprint board is updated with the latest data and you can clear the folders and go back to the initial page. Now let's see how I built this sprint board data app in Sigma. So here I'm clicking on this edit button. It's showing we walk through how I built this. So in this workbook, there are 4 pages, out of which 2 of them are already hidden. So let me walk through the first page, that is the data validation page. So this data validation page will contain the input tables called as empty input tables. Here we are using the empty input tables feature in Sigma to input this data into these tables, like the employee table, status table, sprint table, story, and priority. So we will be using this data in our data app. So after creating these input tables, I have created a model view. So basically, when we click on this create story button, a window will pop up. That window is nothing but this window. So we have configured this window using the control elements in Sigma. So we have used a couple of control elements like list values, text input, as well as date control tab. So we have used these control elements to input the data. And for the list values control element, you can notice in the drop down, the values are popping up automatically. So this is being done using the data validation option in the Sigma, where we can use this data validation option to source the values from the specific column. So for the sprint input, select sprint column, I'm sourcing the values from the sprint number column from the sprint table. Similarly, for the story points, I'm sourcing the values from the story points column. But we have followed the same approach for all the list values control elements. Now, after making those selections, we have added a button. So when we click on this button, there are a couple of sequence of actions are being happening. So the first action being inserting a row. So basically, this insert a row action sequence will insert the values into the sprint input tables. Here, you can see these are all the fields in that input table, and these fields are being updated with the respective values which we have selected in the model version. So once the table is updated with the values, the next step we are performing is the clearing the controls. So we are using the clear control action to clear the filters in this model view. So whatever selections which we have made, those will be cleared automatically. And the last thing is close the model. So once we have created the user story, automatically after clicking on this create button, these couple of actions happen, and finally the model will get closed. Now, let's go back to the sprint tracker page. Here, you can notice there are a couple of buttons over here. The first button is for creating the user story. So the basic action item for this is to open the model. So when we click on this button, it will open this model view, which we have seen in the model tab. And the next button is for the editing the user story. So when I click on this edit story button, basically it will navigate me to the sprint input table page where I can update my records.
Yeah, that sounded like a bunch of sequences, but
Yeah,
how complicated is this really? Like, so if we opened up the lineage tab, what would it look like?
yeah, sure. So if we go back to the lineage view, here you can notice like there are some tables which are not in the lineage, actually connected in the lineage. So these are nothing but the tables which we have seen in the data validation. And this sprint tracker is nothing but the input table which we are embedding the data into. So we are actually appending the data which we are creating in the user story button to the sprint tracker table. And on top of it, we are building some custom visualizations as per our requirement. And here you can see there is a green tick mark over here. So basically what does this mean is like we are writing back the data to Snowflake using the create warehouse view option and signal. So if I come back to this input table page, so here you can notice when you hover over it, there is a eye icon over here with the green tick mark over here. So basically what it does is when we click on this create, when we go into the advanced options, initially we will get the create warehouse view option. But now we can see manage warehouse view because it is already created. Now here you can manage your warehouse views as well and update your data. So as soon as you create a user story, like the data gets updated into the Snowflake.
Awesome. Super simple solution. Really just have to manage the sequencing of actions and leveraging the power of the input tables. And like I said, this allows us to essentially stand up a project management tool in any one of our Sigma engagements where we need it. So awesome job, Monty. Really appreciate that walkthrough. So again, thank you all for everybody who jumped on. If you need any help with Sigma at your company, in addition to the awesome development solutions that we shared today, we have professionals who can help you with strategy, engineering, AI, elastic operations, training enablement, and basically anything to get the most out of your data tool. So thanks again for joining us, and be sure to comment on our LinkedIn posts and visit our website